everyone has been disrupted, but consumer products, it seems to me at least that you have never been disrupted. Am I right?
No.
No.
That's important for people in leadership positions to have a healthy dose of insecurity and humility. My biggest fear is becoming a dinosaur.
และขณะนี้นะครับผมอยู่กับนะครับผู้บริหารสูงสุดของบริษัท Unilever หลายคนได้ยินชื่อบริษัทนี้บอกว่าบริษัทนี้น่าจะสัก100 ปีแล้วนะครับแต่เรื่องของ disruption เรื่องของการเปลี่ยนแปลงทางเทคโนโลยีบางครั้งก็สร้างความท้าทายพอสมควรและเรื่องนี้สร้างผลกระทบอะไรต่อ Unilever หรือไม่วันนี้เราจะมาคุยกันด้วยนะครับกับคุณร็อบแคนเดลิโนคุณร็อบสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ Since I was young I know Unilever is one of the largest company in the world and I heard this is Anglo-Dutch company what does it mean Anglo-Dutch the mixture between British company and companies from the Netherlands or what
It's a remarkable story actually first of all Kunwait, it's very nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us here at Unilever.
Great to have opportunity to talk to you as well.
This is super cool for us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in our digital hub, which we will talk about later. The origin of the company is really, really fascinating. There was a soap company that was started in the northwest of England called Lever Brothers, started by Lord Leverhulme, William Hesketh Lever, that was competing in the open market for raw materials for products with this Dutch margarine company called Uni. And so in the late 1800s, the two companies had great vision and foresight to form Unilever, brought the two companies together.
From Lever Brothers.
From Lever Brothers and Uni, the margarine company, and formed Unilever. And throughout our history, we have retained that Anglo-Dutch heritage. And today we still have dual headquarters, one in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands and one in London and in the UK.
And in how many countries do you operate? Because I can see your products everywhere.
Yes. We are in 190 countries around the world.
Okay.
160,000 employees, roughly, directly. If you look at our broader footprint of people who don't necessarily work directly for Unilever, but are dependent on a successful and thriving Unilever for their employment, that number can be in the millions of people who work indirectly in our infrastructure and in our network. And we're very proud of that. Every day around the world, 2.5 billion people use a Unilever product every day.
Approximately 1/3 of the entire population in the world. And how many brands do you have in Thailand alone? Because whenever and wherever I go, at least one day I have to interact with at least 2 of your products.
Okay.
How many brands?
Well, then we have to work on you, Kunwit, because you're slightly lower than the average, to be honest, because we are in Thailand in every single home, and every Thai uses on average 3 Unilever products every day.
3, okay.
Yes. So you're at 66% of the average.
Could be because I didn't know which belong to you and which doesn't belong to you.
Perhaps. So you have a medley of them here. We're probably in the 26, 27 brands in Thailand. It keeps changing. We launch new brands every day, like 7th Generation and Love Beauty Planet, 2 brand new brands, which we can talk about. And they fall under 3 divisions. We have a home care division, brands like Breeze and Omo and Sunlight, dish detergent, comfort fabric softeners. Our food and refreshment business, wonderful business, Knorr, the brand.
Lipton, I drank it sometimes.
That's exactly right. Wall's Ice Cream, Cornetto, Magnum is also under our food and refreshments. Yeah, we can have a Magnum later. And then, of course, our beauty and personal care business, where brands like Rexona and Dove, Sunsilk, Clear, Vaseline, Pond's.
Yeah, you seem to have dominated the market for a very long time. Anything or anyone can shake your domination, at least here in the Thai market.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like that word because...
but you are the leader, if I understand correctly.
We are the leader. We are the leader, and there's a difference, right? Domination isn't healthy.
Okay.
It's not healthy for the people that consumers who use our product, and not good for customers. It's not good for the market, right? We are very, very proud of our leadership position, though. We are leaders in 7 of the 13 categories we compete in, and in most of the others we're number 2. And we're very proud of that because I think if you take the fact that we touch every Thai every day with a couple of our products, and our market-leading positions with our brands, we remind ourselves of that all the time, not to be self-congratulatory. It is a source of pride, but it isn't one that we look and say, oh, look at us. It's actually quite the opposite. We remind ourselves of our responsibility to continually reinvent our brands and the divisions and the categories in which we operate and the ones we lead. You know, if we're in every home, then our responsibility to those people that invite us into their homes with our products is to give them the best quality products we could possibly come up with at the most affordable price. And that is the sentiment with which we approach all of our business units.
The point is, now it's a world of disruption. Everyone has been disrupted, but consumer products, it seems to me, at least, that you have never been disrupted. Am I right?
No,
No.
you're wrong.
Who disrupt you? Technology disrupt you, or competitors disrupt you, or digitalization disrupt you?
I can give you examples of all of those, right? Let's look at retail, right? So how you shopped 10 years ago, 5 years ago for your products is dramatically different than how most people are shopping
But
today.
remains the same products by Unilever.
To some degree.
Different channels.
Different channels, different channels, different usage occasions prompt different solutions. So, for example, if you need a deodorant, it used to be that you would buy your deodorant once every 2 or 3 months, whenever you need it, or maybe buy a couple of sticks at the big store whenever you went shopping for your big shop, right? And you would have your list. Now, you buy them like this in smaller
At a fingertip.
formats everywhere that is accessible because there are many other shops around you that sell smaller formats or different brands. So that's just one example. The channel shift is a major one that has a profound impact on brands and assortment and packs and price points that consumers want to engage with. Nowhere is that more true perhaps than face care, where the abundance of choice in one channel or one retailer is dramatically different than what you would find in another channel, for example. There's an aging population in Thailand. That is different, right? And I think what has happened over the last kind of 15 years is everyone's very excited about a millennial generation and how do we appeal to millennials, which is a global phenomenon. It's an ASEAN phenomenon for the most part. But if the average age in the Philippines is 23 or 24, and the average age in Thailand is 36 or 37, you have profoundly different beauty care needs, personal care needs, dietary needs in your late 30s than you would as a young 20-year-old. So that causes massive disruption, of course, for the makers of products that previously would have catered to a mid-20s person, and now...
It's a demographical disruption rather than technological disruption in this particular regard.
In this instance, but what I'm indicating to you is that it may seem rather seamless, but there are disruptions happening in every business, everywhere, all the time, every day, and that's one of the greatest challenges or opportunities we face as business leaders in any industry, and certainly us at Unilever. We're not resting on the fact we're number one in all the categories in which we compete. We are energized by the opportunities that a digital revolution now provides. So, for example, we believe that this is the golden age of consumer products. Why? Because when I started 22 years ago, there would be a new product or our existing product, there'd be a TV ad and a billboard or two, and maybe some print ads. That's your marketing plan and you're done.
Oh, yes. Much simpler than today.
How cool is it, though, that if you genuinely care about solving consumers' problems, helping people lead better, fuller lives, helping improve their lives every day with your products, how cool is it that you can reach every single person in this country every day? Directly. With messaging that will help improve their lives. Use sunlight this way to help get your dishes cleaner, faster, so you can spend more time with your wife and kids.
You see that as opportunity.
Massive opportunity.
But many business operators would think, well, this is more pressure for us.
Sure.
We need to have different mindset for that.
Sure.
Well, you were born like me. You were born analog.
Yes.
But now the world has gone digital, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in your company were born analog as well.
Yes.
How will you fit to the pace of digitalization and ensure that you truly understand the needs and the requirements of people in this generation?
So what I'm very fortunate to have is a healthy dose of insecurity. So I'm naturally very insecure, and I naturally feel like I'm never good enough, smart enough, capable enough.
You don't look like that.
And well, and I think I mask it well, I guess, because But I think that's important for people in leadership positions to have a healthy dose of insecurity and humility. My biggest fear is becoming a dinosaur. And in markets or industries that are changing as rapidly as virtually every industry is today, if you are confined to old paradigms and old conventions, you will become a dinosaur real fast. And we can't be a fast-moving consumer goods company. It's the name of our industry, fast-moving consumer goods. And you can't lead that industry like we do in nearly 190 countries around the world unless you are paranoid about the pace of change and the need
unless you are paranoid
to see these as opportunities, not just challenges. Of course I go to bed at night worried. Of course I wake up in the morning, sometimes too early in the morning, a bit stressed and anxious. But it's because we care. And I think that's the burden or responsibility of leadership to turn these challenges into opportunities. That's how businesses become leaders.
Well, in terms of people in your companies, what is the average age of your employees in the Thailand operation?
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
Yes.
Well, one key important point, it seems that top people in the country, either they go to banking industry, automotive industry, they go to fast-moving consumer products. What is the key attractive points for this business?
Well, let me start by saying one of the things that we are so enormously proud of is that we are the number one employer of choice in Thailand across all industries, not
because
just FMCG.
Because of remuneration package or because of what?
No, it's not because of remuneration package. I think it's because a holistic offering that Unilever provides.
Okay.
So we are the most preferred by a 50% margin to the number two across all industries in the country. Right? That's something we're remarkably proud of. Why? Because it is a unique combination of getting, if you genuinely are driven by a love of this country and the ability to impact people's lives every day with your products. To work on purposeful brands for a purposeful company, and I can give you a litany of examples of how our brands are active citizens in society as well, contributing beyond simply the transactional nature of our products, and where you can learn different things that few companies in the world can give you. The ability to work on big brands, the ability to work with big budgets, the ability to work with some of the smartest people in the country, the ability to work with the best of breed in many countries around the world on global teams or regional teams. We're the number one employer of choice, I believe, in 44 of the 50 countries we look at globally. So we are very blessed at Unilever to have a reputation and a tradition of investing disproportionately in our people and treating them extremely well, giving them a long runway of a career, 22 years, and amazing opportunities. I've worked in 4 or 5 countries. I've done work in every part of the world. And I have the unbelievable privilege of leading this business.
In terms of pressure at work, I heard from many people working in banking is pressuring, working in digitalization is very pressuring, but the most pressuring of all is fast-moving consumer products. Is it true?
I can't speak on a relative basis. This is the only industry I've ever worked in.
Okay.
But I can tell you it is ferociously competitive. And that's fun. Again,
you seem to be an optimistic person. That's why you see pressure as opportunity, as a fun element.
So my very dear assistant, Kun Noi, tells me, she calls me the good luck guy. Because if you look at my life and my background, we were talking earlier about my background, right? First generation Canadian, I was born of Italian immigrants. We didn't have much growing up. And so to be sat here with this unbelievable responsibility and privilege of leading this organization that's been here, that's had products in Thailand for over 100 years. King Rama V used to import Lever Brothers soap into Thailand in the late 1890s. We were incorporated on December 20th, 1932, and we've been in constant operations for 87 years. To have the privilege to lead this business, and now a number of other countries in this region, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I get to learn and grow, and I get to be myself, and I get to work with some of the smartest people, literally the smartest people in the world every day when I come to work here or I interact with my global colleagues. What's not to be optimistic about? What could I possibly see as a problem? everybody has challenges. Every industry has anxieties. But I think I've been dealt a pretty good hand. And so I try to bring that optimism to my life in general. And one of the great things about Unilever is actually we're encouraged to bring our whole self to work. And that's a very liberating feeling to just bring that optimism and share that with our people.
You have a joyful personality, but do you pressure your employees ferociously?
Of course. You know, I think I do. And I think I do believe that the role of a leader is that of a pace setter. You know,
A pace setter.
A pace setter. I think because one of the greatest gifts you can give someone, if you take a holistic view of this, is if you can help someone realize that they are so much better, so much more capable than what they believe themselves to be capable of.
Okay.
And then you are backing them and supporting them and sometimes forcefully pushing them to achieve that, then I think that is an unbelievable human gift you can give your people.
Enhance their ability.
And you invest in their capabilities, you tell them that you will support them, you create infrastructure to then support them, you create a culture where people hold each other accountable to be better every day, and then you make it very clear what those expectations are. You know, and so they never feel unsupported, but they always feel pushed. And if you know, I think far too often the barometer with which we use, the chronological time that we use to define success is too short. If you say, don't judge me today, but judge our business, judge our impact 5 years from now, 10 years from now, judge how we manage our people 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then I think what it allows you to do is to invest disproportionately and push ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. And in so doing, 10 years from now, people will look back on that remarkable journey they've made and realize I never would have gotten here unless somebody believed in me, unless the organization supported me. And to be honest, that is my story. You know, if probably 6 or 7 people didn't really disproportionately take a gamble on me and say, you may not be ready on paper, but we believe you can do that, and take the bet on me, then I wouldn't be in this job. And so it's my responsibility. We have a pay it forward kind of approach here. It's my responsibility to invest in our people and make sure that all of us, all the way through the chain, do that for our people.
Well, your multinational or multicultural background seems to contribute to you a lot. Your Italian background, does it help? Your background in the UK, does it help?
Yeah.
Can you share that with us?
Yeah, I guess, I think it's paid.
Because you are unique. The reason I ask you is that you are so unique.
Yeah, and it's funny. Well, thank you for saying that. I don't feel so unique in Unilever, to be honest, because I'm very typical. You know, I don't really speak that many languages. I speak English reasonably well, and
But character-wise, you are multicultural.
yeah, and I think, but Unilever's full of that. You know, so I think if you spend some time with our people, you will find that that's kind of normative. But for sure, I think one of the things though is being somewhat of an outsider everywhere I've been, right? I never really felt like a deeply rooted Canadian because I was born there, but I was first generation. We don't have deep roots there. So growing up, I was always struggling to fit in a little bit with kind of the Canadian kids, right? Or the Anglo kids. And then moving to the US, you know, I lived in Chicago in the Midwest. Again, I was an outsider, trying to fit in. Same in the UK, same in New York, and then of course here in Thailand. But I think over time, as you mature, you just learn to respect all of the wonderful cultures of the world. And I think that's key to fitting in.
Another subject is managing people in different generations. Baby boomers, and then Generation X and Y, and also Alpha. People said this is a key challenges, especially how to inspire the Generation Y and how to retain them with your own company. Do you find those difficulties?
Again, opportunities or challenges, right? I think perhaps too much has been made to categorize or classify people into generations. And it's easy when you put people into a box and you slap a label on them, it's a dangerous thing to do. Yeah, because I think it's then far too easy to just one-size-fits-all approaches to leadership or consumer products, the offerings we give them. I hope that when we're at our best, we look at an individual human level. We have individual development plans for people. We don't have generational ones. We don't hire mass classes of people. We look for specific people who are driven by purpose, care about people in this country, want to serve people, our consumers and our customers, and actually can fulfill the role we need them to fulfill in the company.
Okay.
That's
Each and
unique.
every individual is unique.
Each and every one is
We
unique.
can't make it generic.
Correct. And I think it makes the job of leadership that much harder. Because honestly, if we treat everybody the same, it's just easy to categorize and manage classes of people. But that's a blunt instrument when increasingly the world is, I think, needing more scalpels, right? We have to be more surgical about people want to be treated and felt that they're looked after as a human being themselves with their unique needs and challenges. And so I think our job is to do that.
Well, sustainability,
Yeah.
circular economy seems to be very important since you have a lot of products, a
Yes.
lot of plastic packaging
Yeah.
here. How will you show that you are part of promoting sustainability and circular economy?
Yeah, so very important to us.
These are plastics? all
They're
of them?
plastics, yeah. And so let me dimensionalize this for you a little bit. In general, in this country, Thailand produces, depends on the numbers you look at or believe, it's roughly 2.8 million tons of plastic waste. Of that, given our share of the market, we are massively underrepresented in the waste collection. So we are not a majority of the polluter. However,
really?
We're not.
Okay.
However, and we look at this very, very concretely. However, globally, we have said by 2025, all of our packaging, all of our plastic will be 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable. We announced that a few years ago, and at the time, we were the largest company in the world to make that kind of a significant statement. That was just a few years ago. We have since gone on to say that 25% of our plastics by 2025 will be post-consumer recycled plastic. That means it's plastic that's been recycled and put back into our stream, making it purely circular. By 2025, globally, we said we would do that.
2025.
Correct. The U.S., for example, the United States, our largest single market, has already said by the end of this year they'd be at 50%. In Thailand, we've just launched this item in January, 100% post-consumer recycled plastic.
Never have we been aware of that. We just bought your product and we never know.
And to be honest, we mention it here, but we don't make...
Let me have a look.
Yeah, it says it there.
Oh, okay.
And so on existing brands, Sunlight has gone 100% post-consumer recycled plastic. Comfort brand, our fabric softener brand, we just restaged it, 100% post-consumer recycled plastic. At an expense to our company to do that, because there is not today in Thailand a collection system where we can access local Thai plastic. So 2.8 million tons of it. There's no collection system.
2.8 million tons of it.
There's no collection system to actually recycle or repurpose it back into the system. So we're having to get it from other countries. And despite that, what we are trying to do as a leading citizen in the business community is on new brands like Love Beauty and Planet or 7th Gen, 2 new brands we launched, 100% sustainable brands. And on our existing brands is create more demand for post-consumer recycled plastic so that hopefully domestic economies will start to spawn that creates that circularity where the plastic being generated in this country gets recycled, gets collected, gets sorted, gets recycled. We are a big buyer of it. We want to buy more of it. And so we will repurpose it.
I wish I have hours longer to talk to you, especially in terms of your passion in football, but unfortunately, time is up for the conversation today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Anyway, Kun Rob, thank you very much for having shared with us
very
a lot
much.
of wisdom.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kap.
และนี่ก็เป็นภูมิปัญญานะครับผมเรียกภูมิปัญญาแล้วกันเพราะท่านเหมือนกับเป็นนักปราชญ์อยู่ในคราบของนักบริหารด้วยนะครับยังไงก็ตามวันนี้ขอบพระคุณคุณรอบอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับ